No, Farah said a lot of things that are just outrageous. First of all, you can go to court to enforce your right to clean air. It is just common sense. If the law requires that, for instance, certain quality of air should be maintained, there's a law on the environment, and then somebody puts up a factory there that is polluting the air, or a quarry that is making noise. We have seen people litigate these things, and the courts have actually shut down those operations because they are ruining your right to a clean air. Number two, when you talk about checks and talk about separation of powers, in fact, there's also the checks and balances bit of it, that in fact the judiciary exists to check the power of the legislature and the power of the executive. You cannot say it is judicial overreach when a judge takes a law that you have passed in parliament and looks at it in terms of comparison with the propriety or whether it was passed in accordance with the constitution. It is the people of Kenya who gave the judiciary the power to do that. And this constitution says the constitution, the people are supreme. So you cannot argue that the people in the executive cannot be told how to govern when they have the 5 years. That is just not true. I think you are living in the past, Farah, because this new constitution totally changed the paradigm. Because you cannot tell us that you cannot be challenged in court for decisions you make as a legislature or as the executive. That is why the checks and balances exist. And when you are elected as a people, there is a reason why you have to take an oath. And that oath does not say that I will do what I want to do for the 5 years because I have a mandate. The oath says that you will obey and protect this constitution. That is what you take an oath through. And before you subscribe to that oath, you cannot even start the work you've been elected to do. That is what the Constitution says. So please, some of those arguments do not make any sense. And Trump never built any wall. I don't want to go to the US to show you. He never built the wall that he claimed to build. So some of those examples you're giving us just don't make any sense. You have not seen walls in the Senator States? Mungatana. Yes. You say, unlike me who comes from the city, you in Tana River don't need housing as much as I do. I was in Garsen, your people are living on the road. Your people are living on the road, the ones who are affected by the floods. In fact, we were saying the priority of government. No, just a minute. The priority of government, of course, is to make sure that people enjoy the life to the utmost. I have no problem with that. I will not argue against the need for housing here in Nairobi. We have examples of these things having been done. There was a slum upgrading project that was initiated during the Grand Coalition government by Raila Odinga. You didn't see a levy introduced at that particular point to do that. No. Number two, when Uhuru Kenyatta was in power, he started many of these projects, including the ones in Mukuru that I see the president from time to time just going to pass by and take photos and claim that he's the one building them. Those houses were begun without that housing levy. We are saying, let us have a conversation about how this thing is being implemented. And number two, you as a legislator, where do you think the views of those people you have given examples of, that mzee that spoke in Tana River, what happens to his views? Are you sure? Can you give him an assurance that those views will be reflected in the final product? You and me know that at the end of the day, this public participation that Farah says there's no legislation to guide has already been defined by our own courts. Yes. The courts have said that this public participation is not a cosmetic exercise. Yes, Parliament has not passed that law, but they are saying even the courts exist to develop the law. Farah, there is law that comes from the courts. No. There is law that comes from the courts. I don't know why people don't understand some of these basic things. Yet you have been in public service for years. Senator Mungatana cannot guarantee the people who spoke in Tana River that their views will be implemented in the final law. What will happen? Because this is our Pende Wasipende government, forget about what the senator is saying here. He knows for a fact that when the bill comes to Parliament, this debate he is crying for will not happen. He knows they will be called from State House and told, pitisheni hiyo kitu by Sasaba. These are the group that go there and chant, put the question. He is one of them. Yeah. So, can I first of all, I'll give you. No, you are misleading people here. Don't lie to you are misleading people. Don't lie to the people that there will be a debate. There will be no debate. I can assure you, because Ruto himself has spoken to this issue. He has said, wapende wasipende, whether the courts pronounce themselves, whether wananchi speak, it doesn't matter who says what. He is going to implement this project, come rain, come sunshine. So your views All of those things, we saw it with the finance bill. Trevor, we were with you here. How many people, how many organizations, 99% of the people who showed up before the committee said these taxes you wanted to impose were going to hurt the economy. The economy is hurting right now. Did Ruto listen? Did any of the members of parliament in Kenya Kwanza listen to the people? Mungatana himself today, I want him to tell the people of Tana River. I want him to tell the people of Tana River that if that bill comes and it is not reflective of their views, he will vote against it. He can't say that because I know how he will vote.
Okay,